So Khadija, what we're gonna do today? What we're doing today, girl? Do you know? You don't know? Right, so people, you're tuning into Gordon Simpson, G-Man Simpson, and Khadija Simpson, and right now we're going to give you a little tour of the Carnival fundraiser, a little event what they got going on at Kirklees College. It's a free event which people could have came down, seeing what obviously the Carnival's about, getting understanding, and then we've got the Carnival that's taking place on Saturday, the 12th of July. Don't know the location, but they'll reveal it all today as well. So people, we're gonna go and see what's going on. But what's the matter in the car park? Check this out. What? Pure elegance is setting up, you know, just getting ready. Show them the choreography. Practice. Inside time now. You ready? You not ready yet? No. We're going though. Oh. Kirklees College, you know. Just gotta scroll and see what's going. Oh, big head.
I'm not a big head.
Yes, you are a big
You're
head.
You're big one.
Eh?
Are you bigger? You got a big head.
Yeah.
It's starting to rain.
It's starting to rain.
It's hot.
Yes.
Red.
You're saying turn here, yeah? It's over where? What? Oh, the guy was just telling me where it was. Yeah, over there, so. All right. Over there. Oh, what's the guy saying to me? Yeah, it's over there. Can't miss it. Miss Annette. What going? Me gonna put you on the YouTube. Yes, me gonna sell you something. What you have for me? £15 cushions, you know, everything what you need, you know. What we say, ready for Carnival there?
Yes, I'm going to be there.
You're going to be there with the stalls and everything else, yeah? So you're not say, this is your pre-ordering, pre-bookings. We've got bracelets. You see, £4, you know. They don't ask for you 1 pence back, you know. Yeah? We're just rounding it up, but we're making it look nice when we say it's a £5. Come get your gloves, you know. That's cheaper than eBay as well, I'll tell you that one.
Is it?
It's cheap. I was looking. It's cheaper than eBay. All right, you see it. You have to tell them what go on, you know. What we do, scrunchies.
Scrunchies, yeah.
We got 3 of them in there, you know, £5. Oh, no, let me tell you bad, you know. There's 4 in there. Don't let me undersell the thing, you know. That's £1.25 a piece, you see it. Yeah, quick mask. Jamaica. So what we're saying to people. You need to come and get yours, but you can pre-order though. You can pre-order. Remember the telephone number? Come show me the number. Pre-order, but you can get on social media on what? Pure elegance in the building, you know. I would say, yo, give us a wave. Okay, it's it. They're ready to do the dancing. Yeah, telephone number now. What are we saying to them?
It's 07591 902 149.
They never heard it. Tell me again.
07591 902 149.
There you go. Go and get your cushions, get your badges, get everything else what you need. Now say a word, you know. Okay. Yeah. On the floor.
Yeah. The first time I'll be going. The first time I'm dancing with Truth.
Yeah.
I know
I can keep count of how many times I told over some dumb things. Call me obsessive if you want to. The truth is I'm just mad over you. I just want to know where we stand. Oh, what's the top and where do we go from here? It only gets better worse from here. Can we fix all these problems right now? I'm holding these issues when you're around. We had something, yeah. Wouldn't have to express things in a negative. So weird, I don't wanna stay. No disgrace, 'cause it's so great. So it's so real, something real was good, right? It would feel a delight if we had something that wasn't a mess, that would suffice. Wouldn't have to express things in a negative way. So it's so real that we don't wanna stay. No disgrace, 'cause it's so real. So it's so real. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoy.
Let me see the
flyers and you can understand, you can find yourself.
Okay, so it gives me great pleasure to announce our next speaker. We have Natalie Hamilton, MVP, who is going to give us a little bit of a speech around her involvement in the Caribbean community in Huddersfield, her previous role as a Carnival committee member, and I'll hand over to Natalie. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's lovely to see you all here, and so many people that I've not seen in ages. So it's really, really good to see you. My name's Natalie, as Michelle Huddersfield, and I've been very much involved in community activities for many, many years. So today they've given me 5 minutes to fit all that in. So I've entitled my talk, Preserving the Pulse, Preserving the Heart, and why Caribbean culture and arts matters so much. So I stand here before you not just as someone who loves the arts, but as someone who has seen and felt the culture and the roots of us Caribbean people. It lifts us, it holds us together, and that's something that we mustn't forget. We need to keep that going. Caribbean culture is living today. It's not just as someone who loves the arts, but I live it, and I'm sure a lot of you do. Caribbean culture is a living rhythm. It's in the echo of the steel pan, the sway of dancehall, the poetry of patois, the colours of carnival, the vibrant colours that we see out on the streets when we get out there on a hot, sunny day. The feathers, the folklore, the reggae, the rice and peas, the roti, and all the blend of African, the indigenous, European. We're made up of so many different races, but we all do remember that we are out of many, we're just one people. I know that's the Jamaican one, but it's quite appropriate, I think. Out of many races, we are one. But culture doesn't preserve itself. Culture is really important to keep us together, but it doesn't preserve itself, does it? It lives only if we nurture it. So in order for it to go on and for us to maintain it, we have to nurture it. Otherwise, what happens? It dies. It's like a tree. If there are no roots, it collapses. So our culture, our belief is our roots. And unless we keep that going, amongst all of us, but in particular, I think, amongst our young people, then it's all going to collapse, and we don't want that. So that's why I have to speak about something that's very close to my heart. I was one of the founder members of Caribbean Carnival many years ago, but before that, we had the Trailblazers, like Errol Bass, and many other people who used to organise the carnival from Venn Street. But I'm talking about when Kirklees got a few of us together and decided we need to do a carnival, because then it was a float taking part in the Mayor's Parade. But then after that we had our own carnival. And that's when we get the vibrant explosion of culture, heritage, pride and unity on the streets. Not just unity amongst us as Caribbean people, but unity amongst our community, our diverse community, which is really important, because that's how people learn about each other, by partaking in each other's culture, each other's activities. For years, Carnival brought people together. It brought the community together in song, in movement, in full Caribbean brilliance. But for the past few years, that's not happened. We've had to go without Carnival. The second Saturday in July would come and I'd be thinking, today should be Carnival. And it's not because the spirit's gone. The spirit's still there. There are people still fighting hard to ensure that Carnival does continue. But what is it? It's financial, it's logistical hurdles that we have to climb whenever we want anything. And it's also the slow erosion of support. We don't have enough people wanting to come and help to organise Carnival. But you have to, it's a big thing and we need a lot of bodies. Now we have the silence on the streets on the second Saturday in July, and that's more than a missed party. It's a generation missing out on tradition, because it's our tradition which we should continually be passing on. And we cannot and we must not let this happen, because unless we pass it on, what happens again? It dies. So preserving Caribbean culture isn't about looking back with fondness, it's about moving forward with intention. It's about teaching our young people that their stories matter, they matter, our past matters, and that their ancestry is powerful. Unless we do that again, they can't pass it on to their children. Our culture dies. We don't want that to happen. We need to tell them that their creativity is part of the legacy, which is worth celebrating. When we keep Carnival alive, when we support arts groups like the dancers here, Pure Elegance, Reach Performing Arts that I'm involved with, then it helps the young people to express themselves through music, through dance, stories of their heritage. We aren't just building performers, we're building pride, and we're building belonging. Because preserving Carnival and culture is about preserving people. By preserving that, we're preserving people, we're preserving the culture. And our people deserve to be seen, to be heard, and be celebrated. Not just in fleeting moments, but in every beat of our community's heart. So as you watch Pure Elegance and others perform today, remember this is what preservation looks like. This is what continuity sounds like, and this is the spirit of Caribbean culture. Alive, proud, and still dancing. So, there are enough people here who love Carnival, who would like to see Carnival continue. So, what are you waiting for? The Carnival committee are around here. Talk to them, find out how you can help, how you can support. Because, I tell you, it's a big job and they need all hands on board. So, think about the future. Think about what happens when culture dies. And that's enough incentive to go and say to Carnival Committee, I'll come and help. So this is a rallying cry to you all to go out there and help support Carnival, to be on the streets next year, 2026, second Saturday in July. Thank you.
Natalie, very much appreciated, fantastic. Okay guys, so we're going to be having another musical interlude. However, this time there is going to be food involved. So I would like to just say that if anybody has any type of mobility difficulty, do you want to make your way to the back and start queuing for food? We have some meat and fish options, and we also have vegan and vegetarian options. So if you want to start slowly making your way to the back of the room, we've got some soft drinks and we've got some food samples. We also have a donation bucket, so if you're feeling that way inclined, then please feel free to drop us a little donation in there. Thank you so much.
Anywhere, that's fine. Thank you very much. Yeah, they are the box.
A little bit of coleslaw. You want coleslaw?
Yes.
No. Just me. That would be fine.
Just try it.
Yeah, please. You take a bite. Give two just in case they don't want it. Yeah. So I put one in each plate and I take one from each. You can't be food in. Make sure you're holding it properly. Okay, lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Dylan, what you got, youth? What you have? Food. Yes. YouTuber morning. YouTuber morning. Hello, my love.
Just finding out if the meat is halal. Just finding out if it's halal. We'll let you know. If there is yeah, we've got it. All the food is complimentary. We'd like to donate all the proceeds go to the carnival. Okay. So we've got some saltfish fritters. Saltfish fritters. Let me put you look like you. Thank you, yeah, I know. When I said saltfish fritters, the eyes glossed over. I know. I would be. Thank you. More than two. This picture, I like to see it twinkle in the eye when I say saltfish fritters.
You best set me free, you know. I see the queue.
And you want some mung beans or just vegetables. Thank you. And then in there, there's some veg and okay.
Dana, tell me very quickly what you're serving.
I'm serving curry, pumpkin,
Yeah.
white bean. It's like a stew, ital.
Yeah.
Then there's rice and peas because they wanted a Caribbean feeling to it. Then I've done them organic spelt flour patties. There's curried mung beans and there's jerk veg. And then I've done some callaloo.
Say it, that's it, that's it. That's Yes, go. Nibble time, nibble time, nibble time.
The contents of my presentation will include the origins of Paran, the importance of having this legacy in Huddersfield. We'll give an overview of the mashed up band, and we'll then tell you how you can get involved. Then the band will give you a lovely performance. Okay, so let's start with the origins of Paran. Paran music is a fusion between African rhythms and vibrant melodies with a European influence. It was developed in the Caribbean in the 18th century during the Atlantic slave trade. The word Paran is derived from the term Paranda, meaning to fet or spring. Over time, this tradition evolved into a distinct musical genre which featured a unique blend of Spanish and African music, advancing into the present day to the unique flair known as Paran. This art form is mainly on string instruments such as guitars, ukuleles, also known as quattro, banjos, alongside the distinct beat of the African drum. To the present day, it still has a strong presence in Venezuela, Trinidad, Tobago, Grenada, and Caracas. Potentially, it can have some presence in other Caribbean islands, but unfortunately, we don't know about this. Groups in these Caribbean islands were known to serenade homes with music and festive songs. Originally, this was done in the early hours of Christmas morning, where part of the fun was to wake up your family and friends from their sleep. These songs progressed in what we know as Mele, which represents the African tradition of storytelling in a musical form. In essence, with delivering news, tales and gossip to villagers in an entertaining format. So this was the original social media. If you listen carefully as they played their songs, you would get a version of the truth. When we do our performance today, we have a song that tells you a little bit about the Bible. In Carriacou, in the late 80s, the weekend before Christmas was dedicated to a 3-day musical event featuring Hosanna, which is carol singing. They would invite Calypsonians from the neighbouring Caribbean islands, and then Sunday night was Millet. Unfortunately, this festival no longer happens in that format. However, they have progressed to what is now the Parade Train, where they visit village to village with their musical entertainment. Outside of the Caribbean, Parade can be found in the USA, mainly New York, in London, Bedford and Huddersfield. So why is it important to keep this legacy? It gives us connection and identity. Having this legacy in Huddersfield connects us to our traditions, celebrated by our parents and grandparents and other ancestors. It creates a sense of belonging as persons from Caribbean ancestry often face challenges of displacement, marginalisation and cultural survival. We need to protect our culture, traditions and art forms. So many of our cultural entertainment, Caribbean arts have already been diluted or lost completely. It is essential to maintain traditions, cultures, by allowing this art form to continue and grow. It preserves memories and values through knowledge sharing. It gives us an opportunity for intergenerational bonds. That means grandparents will teach their grandchildren, and they'll share the culture, memories and experience, and this is passed down through those generations. It allows us to be part of a deep-rooted history and expresses a sense of pride and appreciation. And it helps support our mental health and belonging. Having strong cultural roots reduces the risk of identity loss, depression, and internalized stigma, especially in our youth of today. For many in our current band, it helps reduce social isolation. Why do we put all these big words in? And also, it gives us an opportunity for diversity and inclusion. Once we express a sense of pride for this genre of music and our other art forms, it's easy then to include others of non-Caribbean heritage, which will help this art form grow. The Mash It Up Band encompasses all of the above. So, let me tell you a little bit about the Mash It Up Band. This band was formed in the late 60s by young persons from Grenada, Carriacou and Trinidad who settled in Huddersfield as part of the Windrush migration. Back then, the band had no name. Families literally knew them boy were past. They travelled on foot, but could be heard down the street as they travelled along. They would come to your house, you'd give them a shot of the good stuff, usually a little rum smuggled in the Clorox bottle. Or maybe a little homemade ginger beer, mobby, a slice of ham, a little salt fish, a piece of cake, buns and other traditional delights. There was always goodies that were reserved in the kitchen for the Mash It Up Band. Family children would go and try to interfere in this and would tell, no, that's when their boy passed. Leave that there. But you may have to make sure that you gave them a generous hospitality. Because if you didn't, your house could be missing next year. They would go around telling people, we passed by cousin so and so. Not even a drop of water we didn't get. If they think we're passing next year, they will think again. So where did the Mash It Up Band name come from? Well, in one alcohol-fueled incident that occurred in the Kojo household, somebody fell on the glass table. It was broken, mashed up, could not be repaired. From then, they were known as the Mash It Up Gang. Families would then ring ahead and say, "Them boy coming, you know." If you ever ask, "Which one of them?" They say, "Them boy with the mash up this." At that point, you would know, move your crystal decanter from the drinks trolley, otherwise you could lose it. But if you think that antics stop there, you would be mistaken. One family in the Crossland Moor area secured their chicken for the Christmas lunch in the oven prior to the band arriving. They could hear the band coming down the street singing unharmoniously. They came in, they enjoyed drinks, but no actual thing to eat. After the band left, the family then returned to the kitchen to start their family evening meal, but there was no chicken to be found. The chicken had vanished. Where it had gone, it was apparently no family knew. From then, people were very careful to ensure their valuables were hidden very, very well. A lot has changed since then. The band has a much better reputation now. At present, to our knowledge, we are the only parent band in the UK that still visits house to house on Christmas Day. They can no longer cover those distances on foot, so we hire a minibus to ensure the tradition keeps going. People who have grown up in Huddersfield or become associated with the band have travelled as far from London to ensure they're part of the Christmas Day serenading. In fact, the band driver actually comes from London every single Christmas to ensure this happens. Band members have had relatives come from Carriacou and Trinidad in recent years to serenade with the band. The band at present has an age ranges from with people in their 30s right up to their 70s. We've been lucky, as you can see today, we're all dressed in uniform, and that's been welcomed from the support of 3 local businesses: R1 Property Solutions, the Hart Pub on Bradford Road, and McKinley Supermarket, and we're really, really grateful. They've helped the band become more visible. We also now have a pub banner. We go around all year conducting live performances, birthday parties, cultural celebrations, funerals, wake, and also accepting invitations in more outreach areas of Huddersfield, such as New Mill and High Burton. We've improved our performances by having structured, regular rehearsals. We've learned a wide range of songs from various genres, which has made the band a lot more appealing to various audiences. We put a little Caribbean twist on well-known songs, and we've also invested in equipment to make us sound good. We are proud to have been able to successfully have 2 fundraising events last year to help with our band costs, and we'll continue those into this year. We are committed, and each week that we meet, we pay our subscriptions to ensure there's a little money in the bank to keep us going. We've also introduced a more affordable pricing structure. So when we come out to play, we do ask you to give a little something to the band. We have tried, but have yet been unsuccessful in grant applications. In general, we have been more community focused. So, how can you get involved? The opportunity is there to enhance your personal well-being. The group is made up of diverse, vibrant people with a wealth of musical experience. We want everybody who comes to the band to feel welcome, safe and respected. We meet weekly at the Royal Flock Church at 6 p.m. for rehearsals. That's 6 p.m. on a Sunday. You don't have to have any musical talent. All we ask from you is for some commitment, willingness to learn and to be respectful of the band. We are seeking persons with social media experience or website building and marketing to help the band again grow. So, how can you get in contact with us? We're a friendly bunch, so if you'd like to speak to anyone about joining the band, simply come up to one of us in the red t-shirt. If you're shy, we have our email address, which you can also send us an email to, or you can contact us on Facebook or Instagram. So, thank you very much, everyone, for your attention during my presentation. The band will now entertain you.
enjoyed the performances this afternoon. So we are on to our next presentation. So I'd like to welcome Faye from Boom Chicka Boom, who is going to do a presentation on the history of carnivals in the Caribbean. So guys, if you want to try and move a little bit closer so that you can see the screen, then please feel free to do so, and I'll hand over to Faye. Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody's like, no, stay here, nice and comfortable. If I move, it's going to make the heat feel hotter. Hello everybody, my name's Faye. I have my own company called Boom Chicka Boom. And just a little brief on what Boom Chicka Boom is. It started off when my son was born, and I used to attend various music and arts events, and I felt like they were boring. I didn't feel like they had any relevance to me as a mother, or attending with my families as well. So I decided to put on my own events for my family and invite other people along, and I called them baby raves. So we took over nightclub venues and had live music and celebrations where everybody was welcome to come and celebrate as one big family. And as my son got older and older and older, I spotted lots of different gaps in the market, so to speak, of different places where we didn't feel welcome, or we didn't feel, celebrated, things like that. So we wanted to switch up the vibe of how you would normally spend family time together. And we took over different venues, doing cinema events, pool parties, taking over galleries, museums, libraries, and making noise. And then I'm going to rewind a little bit. Prior to setting up my business, I used to work in different schools as an arts specialist across the country, seeing how we could incorporate the arts into traditional subjects. For example, taking maths and seeing how we can use maths, how we can use dance, and the arts to have other children who may not learn in the most traditional ways learn new topics and things like that. And at one of the schools that I used to work at was called Burley St Matthias, and it was in Leeds. And it was an extremely diverse school, and every year they used to celebrate a culture week. And this is going back 17, 18 years ago, when there was none of that going on in Leeds for certain anyway. And this culture week was phenomenal. I only worked 2 days a week at this particular school, but when it was the culture week, you best believe I was there every single day. The teachers were extremely diverse. They were able to come in and celebrate their culture, their traditions, their food, their cultural wares, everything. Different family members were invited in to do talks, and I saw how much of a benefit it was to every single child, every single adult in the building to be celebrating, not just a little bit, but a lot, on a huge scale. The whole school got behind everybody's cultures and their backgrounds, and everybody was able to ask questions and explore it in depth, and I thought it was fantastic. So as I grew Boom Chicka Boom later on down the line, every time I got involved with the school, I would kind of say quietly, I used to work at a school and they used to have a culture week, and it was brilliant. And I'd say it with my little small voice, and nobody really took much notice of it. And then as my son got older, I saw how important it was for him to do something like that. So my voice got a little bit louder. I turned into a school governor connoisseur. Like any school that needs a governor, I'm there. And I'm always making my voice heard by making sure that every single person is seen to be celebrated in any way possible, from the children through to the staff as well, and parents of course. So then later down the line, I got involved in doing a lot of culture week and culture days within schools, colleges, nurseries, workplaces, and just helping them sort of curate the days, curate the weeks, what different things they needed to be doing to get it right. And then I ended up, because I have a strong connection to Leeds West Indian Carnival, I ended up doing different presentations and workshops around that. And it was really important to me that it wasn't just, oh, Faye, can you bring in some costumes that you wore at Carnival? They're going to be so cool, the parents are going to love it. And I was like, I'm not just bringing in costumes, it's not just costumes, there's a lot more to it. And they'll be like, can you make a playlist? Yep, sure, but I'm going to come in, I'm going to do a talk on the history of West Indian carnivals, on why there are costumes, why there is music, why Carnival needs to be celebrated and must be celebrated. So I now go into various different schools as part of Boom Chicka Boom, under Boom Chicka Boom's umbrella so many different kinds of random things. I go into schools and do presentations like this. So I'm used to talking to a room full of rowdy children. You guys are really well behaved and really quiet, so thank you. No heckling so far. All right, so first things first, where did Carnival begin and why? So West Indian Carnivals began as a celebration of the emancipation of slavery. Okay, so it wasn't just, oh, let's just celebrate us. It was a celebration of the ending of slavery. It was said that one of the first carnivals was held in 1863. Therefore, carnivals are all about fighting oppression with celebration, using revolution and rebellion. There are various different elements to Carnival, as we know. We've got the music, you guys are amazing by the way, which is always soca and calypso, although various different carnivals you will hear a lot of other genres, but soca and calypso are the key element to a West Indian Carnival. We've got the costume, playing mass or masquerade, and then we've got dance. We had our dancing corner over there, which was beautiful. Just a huge example on how Carnival is such an intergenerational celebration. And then the unofficial one, which needs to be added into there really, is the food. Did we all enjoy the food? Yeah? I tapped out because we were doing a food festival this morning and I stuffed my face with pizza annoyingly before coming here, so I'm full, but it looked amazing. So when you're attending a carnival, it hits all the senses. If you smell the food, that's one of the first things that's going to come to light. So going back to slavery, do we know the countries that were involved? Anybody shout them out? The European countries that were involved? Britain, right here. Shout out. All of them, all of them. Yeah. All of them. The Dutch, Portuguese, if you know Portugal, huge, yeah, Portugal. France also. I recently visited Portugal and there's a massive, I forget the name of the statue, but there was a massive statue and I passed it on a train and everybody was congregated around it taking pictures. And I'm thinking, what is this statue? What is it? And it was only like hailing, you know, one of the hugest like slave trade people during those times. I'm like, wow, that is still stood up there and celebrated like this huge monument and nobody probably has a clue the true history of why this man is celebrated. They just see this huge statue that's been there for centuries and it's like, oh, let's take a picture here. And nobody knew what it was. Anyway, the reason why I asked that is because a lot of carnival references come from Spanish, Portuguese, French influences. So we've got Jouvray morning, all right? So Jouvray comes from a French word of the morning and it's celebrated at the very start of Carnival in various different ways, in various different countries, various different cities even. So we've got a picture from Trinidad over here, where we've got the jab jab. We're going to talk about them a little bit later on after this slide, I think. We've got the dirty mass in the middle, lots of paint, bright colours, the hair's covered up, ready for the rest of the day. And then we've got a picture taken in sunny Leeds, just down the road, in pyjamas. So there's lots of different ways people celebrate the very start of Carnival, and that is at sunrise, and that's called Jouvray or Jouvray morning. Then we've got lots of different characters that might take place during a West Indian Carnival. One of my favourites is the jab jab, and I'm dying for somebody to do a carnival which I'm visiting where they're doing jab jab, and I absolutely love it. And I'm like, Leeds West Indian Carnival, I'm like, why don't we do this? And they're like, shh, you're not getting involved in that. So jab is a patois word derived from the French word diable, meaning the devil. So this was one of the original characters that Carnival was represented in early carnivals. This was representing the slave trade owners as the devil. It meant that they were covering their skin now in black oil, but it used to be molasses, sugar, and to express that their blackness was their power, and they wanted to make their skin even blacker to showcase how proud they were. They're often found with broken chains, representing the broken chains of slavery. Also known as the pretty devil, is that there? And here's just a clip. If you've not seen the jab jab in motion, Huddersfield, if you could do this and make my dreams come true one day. man, woman, or child is left behind, they're getting involved, they're getting covered in oil, and I always think, what do they do in the streets afterwards? Because if you have an oil spillage here, and they put sand down and they make sure it's not slippy, I think imagine what the streets look like after everybody is taking part. It must be crazy. I love it. All right, next up we've got the Midnight Robber, one of my favourites. Traditionally known to wear black and white colours. Traditionally a man, but we had a female taking part as the Midnight Robber. He was one of the queens a couple of years ago. And they have a lot of, anybody who works in schools, this is a great character to explore for spoken word and poetry and things like that. So I'll give you a little example. Of the Midnight Robber doing, as I say, robber talk. Bit of flashing lights there, guys, if anybody's.
I stand down like I come from above to welcome you to South with love. Throw away your inhibitions and dance with ease, because on this trip you're bound to get some prestige. Now I'm known as the chaos bringer. Some say the controller of soca, some say the speech master, but I'm known as one with destructive power. For my command today is to make you shake your hips and sing your lips. Lick it with fling and jump with me. For I am the controller of every move that you make, and every mistake that I say is no. I just trip you up to make sure that you could understand the show. Look on me, Mockman. I am the avenger of destruction, also enjoyment and laughter. If you don't dance and jump, I will give you disaster. For in this COVID-19, I give you a new norm, but forget all this.
That was from one of the virtual carnivals. But I think it's just a great example to show that when you're taking part and playing mass, that it's not just wearing a costume. Sometimes you've got to be the character and interact with the crowd and showcase the deep history in each of the characters that are represented. We've also got the Moko Jumpy. The Moko Jumpy looks a little bit taller than the normal average person, as you can see. So they would wear stilts. And they cover their face traditionally. They don't want to be seen to be having human features like ears, eyes, nose, mouth, and they're seen as the protector of everybody else playing mass. I did this 2 years, and as you can see, the Moko Jumpy traditionally use stilts that are sort of nubs at the bottom, not actual feet. And it's really difficult because you've got to constantly move. And I did it for 2 years on stilts with actual feet. And it was so hard, I cannot tell you, and that is an easier way of doing it. So anybody that can master this, I salute you, because I think it's phenomenal. And they're usually a lot taller than the average stilt as well. All right, then we take it to World War II. World War II. You know, a side note, at school, I didn't do any history or geography. They let me off and they said, just do 2 arts, Faye. Don't bother with the history and geography. Just stick to the arts. We know you can excel in that. But yes, I never did anything history from, I think, the year 8 upwards. And I hated it. I found it so boring. But I think if she would have taught history and really taught it properly and go in depth with so many different interesting things like this, I think I would have listened a little bit more. So I always say to students when I'm working with them in school that history was not my forte whatsoever, but we never learned things like this. So World War II ended in 1945, and as you can see from the images, Britain was left with destruction. It was left with a population crisis, where the population had depleted so much that it was a crisis. And Britain needed help. So who are we going to call?
Black people,
So then we bring the Windrush generation. So people from the British Empire, keyword, were invited to the UK, right? They were invited to the UK to help rebuild post-war Britain. As I said before, there was a crisis in population, so there was a severe labour shortage, especially in the transport network and the newly started National Health Service. So people from the Caribbean came over and they took over and they run the joint. Yeah, they helped rebuild the country. So when I work with schools, I will say, okay, so if I was to invite you guys to my party, would I make you feel well? Would you expect to be felt welcome? Yeah? If I invite you to a party, if I've invited you somewhere, surely I'm going to be there to make you feel welcome when you arrive. Do we think that was the same case?
Nope.
I love how we've got answers here. Like at schools, everyone's like, I don't know. Yeah, they felt welcome, I'm sure. But as many of you in the room know, they were not meant to feel welcome. They were promised everything, promised homes, promised jobs, good paid jobs. But the reality when they arrived in the UK was very different, as you can see from these images that are not AI, they're real images. An advertisement for a house, which is a shared bathroom, £8 weekly, bargain. But then a sign at the bottom, no coloured, no Irish. A sign on a cafe window, no Irish, no blacks, no. And then vacancies for various different jobs also had the note on there at the bottom, as you can see there, no coloured. So even though people were coming over from the Caribbean ready and raring to work, displaced from their families, ready to work, were all of them able to get jobs? No, it became really difficult. Impossible, in fact. So going back to what Carnival was when it was celebrating the emancipation of slavery, Carnival in the Caribbean was that, but over here, it needed something to fight, the same sentence that I said before, it's about fighting oppression with celebration, revolution, and rebellion. So in Notting Hill, down in London, in 1958, there was a Swedish white woman who was arguing with her Jamaican husband outside a tube station. And some white boys took over and it caused absolute chaos. And this was said to be the catalyst for huge race riots, particularly in Notting Hill, which had a huge Caribbean community there after the Windrush era coming over. But in the Notting Hill area, there was a stronghold for Oswald Mosley's far-right union, and it included the extremists, the Teddy Boys. So for those of you who don't know the Teddy Boys, they were a group of men and boys that would deliberately attack and target people from the West Indies with violence. These race riots proceeded over months and months and months. Lots of the information regarding the criminal activity that happened during that time has only been released in recent years, so some of those files from the police and things like that have only been released in recent years, which is disgusting. Then we have a man called Kelso Cochrane. He broke his finger and visited a hospital to get fixed up. As he left, he was attacked near a tube station and he was murdered by said to be Teddy Boys. It was at that point that people were like, this, enough is enough. So people took to the streets, and the first carnival was a huge protest essentially. When you look at images of the first carnival in Notting Hill, you can see the placards and things that we used. Black and white can live together in harmony, hands off black people. There were said to be 1,200 people that attended Kelso's funeral, and people were up in arms about it, but although attacking it with violence was also one of the things that happened, but there were a few community leaders that stood up and said, no, let's do what we know best. Let's create something that we've brought back from home. Carnival is in our bones. Let's celebrate here where we belong and showcase what amazing people we are. So that was said to be the first Notting Hill Carnival in the late 1950s, early 60s, and it started off as an indoor celebration, and eventually that turned out to be a parade eventually. And obviously, hands up if you've been to Notting Hill Carnival before in recent years? Anyone? Everyone's like, we're staying up north, we're not going down there. So I've been to Notting Hill Carnival quite a few times. It's huge, humongous, like next level massive. I think I've never been so scared walking through a crowd once. You know when people push and congregate so much that you're tight like this. I remember being dragged through for safety. Although it's amazing, at certain points it's like, wow, it's really, there's millions of people that descend on Notting Hill, extremely busy, and it is a huge melting pot of every single culture. Like sometimes in some areas I'm like, is this a West Indian carnival, or like what is this? Because there's so many different cultures that are like, okay, let's use this to celebrate who we are as well. So it's a huge melting pot. But up in the north we know how to do it traditionally, right? So here in West Yorkshire, we have Leeds and Huddersfield community leaders coming together prior to London to actually create carnivals here. And it wasn't out of race riots or things like that. It was, a lot of the time it was purely just missing back home and wanting to create what they have back home here in West Yorkshire. And uniting everybody as one to ensure that everybody was able to celebrate Carnival. Everybody was welcome. Do you think it was easy to do that? No. People were fought with so much closed doors. When it comes to filing for bids and trying to get funding, it's hard as it is now in 2025 to get funding for anything. So back in the 1950s, 1960s, it was almost impossible, and people were told no, 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 no. And I think that it's phenomenal that we can still stand today with various communities coming together to keep Carnival strong and keep the history alive. It's phenomenal. So here's just a few images from some of the first West Indian carnivals here in West Yorkshire. All right, then it comes to playing mass. Hands up if we've played mass here before. It's an experience that I can't even describe. I took part in Carnival, I think, for the first time when I was 8 years old, and I can still remember the smells. I remember the feeling of the costume. I remember taking it home and putting it up in my bedroom and being like, wow. Like, it hits the senses in every way, shape or form. One of the most beautiful things that I love about Carnival is just seeing every single body shape celebrated to the max. Like, nobody cares whatsoever, and it's just one of the most stunning celebrations of human beings ever. So here we've got playing mass. There's pictures of me playing mass in 3 different years, and you can tell who belongs to who, basically. You'll have various rehearsals in the run-up to Carnival, and in your Carnival troupe or your mass band, you might not meet many of your members until the day. So when you're walking through the area, you'll be like, oh, they must be with us. They've all got red t-shirts on, and you guys are with us. And you're like, you're automatically family straight away. And everybody comes together from that year, and you might not see each other again for a whole other year, but you're good friends for life. Here's just a video. This is taken from one of the back of the trucks at Leeds Carnival, but I use this to try and showcase to the children in schools how big Carnival is, and this is just one mass band playing. And also I'd like to point out as well in that video, just like how I did there with the people who were dancing to the music, how multi-generational it is. You will see in a lot of the videos that I share, different age groups taking part in Carnival. We've got babies in slings, we've got great-grandparents even, taking part hand in hand, and it's one of the most amazing showcases of intergenerational work there is. Millions of pounds pumped into intergenerational work. So if anybody can tap into that when it comes to Carnival, it's phenomenal. And we have Huddersfield Carnival. So I'm just going to share, this video is quite long, but I'm just going to share some of the voices that are speaking about Carnival for those that may not have attended before. This is from 2023. I'm going to attempt, if it'll let me. One second, I'm going to try and make it a big second.
And I am the chair of Huddersfield Carnival and a member of CMC, which is the Carnival Management Committee, and they have organised Carnival this year. So we started actually last year, and it's an accumulation of planning for the last few years, because we hadn't had Carnival in the park. for a long time, 2017, and because obviously COVID and all those things that had happened, so you know we've been planning it from there, and obviously we used to get a lot of funding, so we in partnership with the council, and we get a lot of funding from them, but that funding has significantly decreased, so we don't get the money. So it's about applying for funding, seeing how we could raise funds ourselves to carry forward the event. Well, it's really important for me because it makes me know that I can have my culture anywhere and everywhere, and that is a big part of all the organizations, all the organizers who put on this event, to share our culture, to share our knowledge, our experience with others who never had it before, as well as to give others who've had it and have not experienced it in a long time a refresher.
Well, working with the carnival is just a really exciting mix of different acts, different tastes, smells, sounds. It's the whole kind of all your senses are really kind of treated on a day like this. It's just been really exciting watching it all come together. I think it's just trying to meet our ambitions, really. We just want to see it as big and as exciting as it can be. And particularly pleased that the Carnival Committee were able to work with the Arts Council this year to make the parade happen. I mean, it's deeply important to see Carnival represented in Year of Music. The Year of Music is about the whole of the Kirklees community, all the different aspects of music, all the different types of cultures that come through that. And Carnival clearly is a deeply important part of music in Kirklees.
There we go. So finally, at this point in schools, I would say thank you, get involved, and I bring costumes and we all have a big dance off and a big celebration of who can make the loudest noise. But here, don't worry, I'll let you sit down, it's far too hot for that. But I just want to encourage each and every person in the room to get involved in some way, shape or form. One of the things that I always say when I do this talk in schools is that people assume that to take part in Carnival, it's all about, oh, I'm not a dancer, I'm not wearing a costume, I'm not doing that. But there's so many different elements of Carnival where you can help out. The Mash It Up band said at the end, they're looking for people to help out with their social media, for example. You've got student photographers, you've got people who can do videography, you can do people who are really good at welding. Welders are like, you know, the gods and goddesses of Carnival costumes. People who just need help, you know, stage management. It might be that you can really good at knocking up flyers and putting things together like that. There's so many different skill sets that need help, that need to be put together to help put on a carnival. And I can't speak for Huddersfield Carnival, but I can speak for Leeds Carnival. And there's a lot of people in Leeds that like to moan and say, oh, this is happening, or this is happening, or where's the funding, and this, that, and the other. But it's hard, and one of my policies in life is that you can't moan about something if you're not going to do something to help the situation. Hence why I said earlier that I'm always on like the school committees and the governing boards, and any way I can get my voice heard in something that I'd like to moan about, I'm there. Because you can't moan about something if you're not willing to help be the change that is needed. So in any way possible, if you're able to help out, the Carnival Committee here in Huddersfield, the Mash It Up band, people who are creating costumes, and you've got seamstress in the house, if you know how to knock up a little trouser, I'm sure you can piece together a costume too. So just massive encouragement to just get involved. If you see somebody around and you want to chat to them, go and chat to them. And yeah, get involved and keep Carnival alive. Massive thank you to Natasha as well for inviting me today. She came to one of my assemblies over at a school in Leeds, so very thank you, lots of thank yous for inviting me over here. It's been lovely. And have an amazing rest of the day. What's next? Any more music? No? Yes? She's back, the hostess with the mostess. But yeah, if anybody wants to find out more about what we do, we take part in Leeds Carnival as well. And we do with zero funding in our troupe at Boom Chicka Boom. And we do a for us by us policy that we create everything in. We don't rely on any external funding to get involved. So yeah, if you want to find out more about what we do, or you would like, if you have a school that you think this would work well in, then give me a shout. Thank you.
Right, so Khadija, the event's all done now. How do you enjoy it?
Good.
It was good, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, so you've seen everything else? What did we watch? Steel pans. See you later. The parang.
Food.
Big drum.
For dancing.
Yeah. Pure elegance dancing. Somebody singing. Can't remember the name. What else we see? Everything else. Explanation about how the carnival, the history.
I didn't see all of that because I was with Nana.
You missed it, yeah? You missed it, but yeah, a good little event. Yeah.
But mine was more better because I got to go in all the staff rooms.
You got to go in the staff rooms as well, yeah? So you got a little tour from Nana, yeah?
Yeah.
So you went all the way around Kirklees College?
I went all the way up there.
Up to the top, up to the top, up to the top, up to the top. But yeah, Huddersfield Carnival, trying again. So yeah, look out for it. What? Saturday the 12th
You
July?
better watch me and my dad dancing.
Dancing, yeah?
Oh, I'm going to be on stage. He's going to be the DJ on the floor and on stage.
That's Deaton Carnival, Saturday the 28th. And then obviously Huddersfield Carnival. I'm going to be the host of that one as well. Saturday the 12th of July. That's what it is. Saturday.
You can't just say the 28th.
28th of June.
You can't.
Yeah, I talk too much.
What if it was the 28th of May,
Well,
July?
guess what? Saturday the 28th of June, Deaton Carnival. And then Saturday the 12th of July, Huddersfield Carnival. Yeah? And G-Man's on the hosting the Huddersfield Carnival. Say no more, say no more, say no more. Share the link, tell a friend, you know how the thing goes. G-Man and Khadija. That's how we do the thing. Bye. Bye.